What do all motivated employees have in common? What do self-directed, awesome employees all have? Welcome to the Culture Course Show, where we help you attract top talent and build a thriving company culture. My name is Grant Botma, and I'm the owner of an Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. We all want, as leaders, as managers, when we have a business, we want a team of people who are really motivated, who want to push the envelope and really look for things to grow the company, grow themselves. We want self-directed employees, right? I mean, think about an employee who's not just taking the list of tasks and checking them off as they do them, but is willing to turn the paper over and see what's on the other side, to see what's coming next, or look around the corner and think about the future and think, hey, what can I do to help move things in the right direction? Or maybe even they're a critical thinker and they evaluate their actions and they evaluate the business and they see and come up with ideas on their own. They're motivated to help solve problems for customers even better or solve problems internally for the company even better. What do motivated employees want? Or what do they rather? What do they have in common? In a previous episode, we talked about this study that Chick-fil-A did. Mark Miller, he's one of the leaders at Chick-fil-A, and he's one of the guys who kind of put this stuff together and helped make sure that this research report or this research was being done. They brought in a third-party HR company to evaluate some of their best team members, their best employees, and as part of that, they were able to discover the answer to this question, what do all motivated employees have in common? There was one thing that all of them genuinely had in common. Their best and top performers, the people that were really motivated, the people that they didn't have to try and keep motivated, those awesome team members, they all had this one thing in common, and it was very telling. After all of his research, he found out that the most motivated employees, the best A-level players on his team, they all had this in common. They were forward thinking. They were forward thinking. This episode is brought to you by my new book, The Problem Isn't Their Paycheck: How to Attract Top Talent and Build a Thriving Company Culture. This book is available on Amazon. It is a paper book, a hardcover, and also an ebook and Audible. You can also check it out at culturecourse.com/book, culturecourse.com/book. There is a landing page that will give you even more information about this book with a link to where to purchase this book on Amazon, or you can just search for The Problem Isn't Their Paycheck, the title of the book. Search for my name as the author, Grant Botma, on Amazon, and the book should come up there as well. So all of them were forward thinking. What does that really mean? How do you kind of absorb that as a leader? We all know that we want motivated employees. We all know that we want self-directed employees, right? So how do we get these people? How do we find those forward thinking people? Well, it starts by listening throughout the interview process. When you're hiring somebody and they're considering coming to work for you, or maybe they've submitted a job application or a resume, the forward-thinking people, they're going to ask questions like this. How am I going to grow there? How am I going to grow working for you? Or how will I be stretched? How will working for you help me grow in my abilities as an employee or a member of society? Or they'll ask questions like, what opportunities are there going to be? Am I going to be able to grow into a different position? This is a forward-thinking person. This is a person that is genuinely considering their future. And this is why this is important. Forward-thinking people are motivated because they're outside of the here and now and the day-to-day. Non-forward-thinking people are just about, what do I have to do right now? And then that's it. They don't think about how their actions right now impact what's happening next. And that's what self-directed, super motivated, awesome team members, they do have in common. They do think about how their current actions are going to impact their future because they have thoughts about their future. They want a preferred future. They want a better life. They want to make a bigger impact. They think about the future. The top talent Motivated employees are future-minded, not now-minded. So your call to action this week is, how can you create a culture that is future-minded? Ask yourself that question. Are you creating a place where you have answers to those questions that they're going to be asking during that interview process? How would you answer those questions right now if you said, how am I going to grow there? How are you going to stretch me? What opportunities are there to move up in the company? Do you even have any of that written down? Create a culture that is going to be attractive to future-minded individuals, but is ready to answer the future-minded top talent, A-player employee questions. What opportunities can you create? Or what opportunities can you give through your employment? How can you educate or stretch or grow your team? Are they going to get maybe some mentorship from you? Is your company headed in a direction where new positions are going to be made available? Do you have a program in place that allows people to apply for new positions prior to making that position available to the public? Do people internally have the opportunity to take advantage of some stuff? What are some processes and procedures? What are things you can do within your culture that allow for future-minded folks to not only be attracted to it, but for future-minded folks to act on some of that stuff? Have answers for those questions. You guys, these questions during the hiring process, how am I going to grow? How am I going to be stretched? What opportunities would you have for me? Those aren't red flags. Those are questions that are being asked by an awesome future-minded person. That person is going to be extremely motivated. This is what motivated people have in common. So create a culture that's ready to not only answer those questions, but allow the future-minded people to act on some of that stuff. Get motivated employees, get top talent by finding the future-minded people. They all have this in common, thinking about the future. Have a great week.